Hey there guys, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Omnipollo and Buxton. This is Yellow Belly, so this is pretty much a bottle with some information on the back, but this is pretty much what it looks like. And I'm going to talk about the appearance of the bottle before I even dig into the beer. And so this is not your Halloween ghost costume. This is actually a reference to a KKK hood. So certainly controversial, and I want to discuss that. So pretty much, I think there are two opinions about this. One of them is that this is not acceptable. There's certain, political words and images that are out there that people decided you cannot use, even for a good purpose or satire. Just don't do it. And so that this is done in very poor taste, and you can't have this on the shelf. Working in retail, it's really awkward trying to explain why do you have a KKK hood looking beer on your shelf, and it's just not acceptable. There's certainly that kind of opinion. And the other one is certainly the purpose of what Omnipollo and Buxton wanted to do. So if you pull off the paper, this is what the bottle looks like. And so pretty much they explain, a yellow belly is a person who is without courage, fortitude, or nerve, a coward. So they find that obviously the person hiding behind the hood it's a signifying trait of institutionalized racism, and that it's not acceptable, and that this beer is brewed to celebrate all things new, open-minded, and progressive. So certainly the purpose of brewing this beer and using that kind of label is to promote progressive thoughts and open-mindedness. So post in the comments below, is this not okay, or is it okay as the brewers intended? So let me know in the comments below, but we're going to dig into the beer, and we already have it poured out. So if you don't already know about the beer, it's an 11% peanut biscuit imperial stout. Sounds very interesting. Let's dig in. So the beer pours in a pitch black color, and it comes in that kind of awesome coating, dark brown, running down the glass. Let's get the aroma on this one. You can already smell it, by the way. Jesus Christ. That is stupid. It doesn't smell like beer. Rich amounts of vanilla, but it literally smells like a peanut butter biscuit. I was not a big fan as a kid. Nutter butter. I've had a nutter butter. It smells like nutter butter. It even smells like a honeyed biscuit, but then it has this wonderful kind of like dehydrated peanut butter kind of note. It's not a creamy peanut butter. It's as if you were gonna bite into this peanut butter biscuit, and your palate was gonna get, or your tongue was gonna get so dry. It's a really intense, dried, peanutty kind of note, and some chocolate underlying it. But it certainly does not smell like beer at all. It smells absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what it also smells like? Butterfinger for days. Cheers. And actually, with the Butterfinger note, there certainly smells like there's diacetyl in here. There's tons of butter. It just smells like butter, and that's usually a flaw in beer, but let's dig in. There's more to that kind of buttery flavor, but it works. So on the palate, it actually tastes like beer, so don't worry about it. It actually tastes like beer. It tastes like more like a stout. Up front, it's very sweet. You get that honey biscuit note. You get that rich, intense kind of just like moving on with lots of sweetness. Peanut butter sweetness for days. There's a vanilla note, dark chocolate, more sweetness driving on the beer. Mouth feels nice and oily, nice and soft. It's just like peanut brittle thrown in there. There's Babe Ruth bar. There's freaking Butterfinger in here. There's Nutter butter in there. On the back end, there's some alcohol to cut the sweetness. And then there's actually a nice kind of bitterness to this beer. There's a really intense kind of roasty, earthy espresso note. So it's as if you had one of those peanut butter biscuit desserts, and then you had a really rich, dark glass of espresso with you. So it's really interesting. Nice transitioning on the palate. It doesn't overwhelm with too much sweetness, but for sure, it is a very sweet beer. Certainly a dessert beer. And then actually the beer that it reminds me of is Evil Twins Imperial Biscotti Break. Probably a beer that is more accessible to this one. That one is brewed with almonds. This one's peanuts. So it has that kind of amaretto, nutty, kind of sweet, desserty kind of note to it. But it's decadent. It's delicious. It smells so good. The appearance is fantastic, as with the beer. And it is just so decadent. It's so delicious. Let's go something like a 97 plus on this one. 97 plus. This beer is very special. Intense flavors. What a surprise of a beer. Such a unique beer. So definitely check it out. Even if you're against the label, you could at least rip off the label. So let me know in the comments below if you've had this beer and what you think about the labels. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.